Perry Miller was born on November 22, 1941, and raised in Queens, New York, to musical parents both originally from Lynn, Massachusetts. His mother, Doris Van Siver, was a violinist and singer with perfect pitch, while his father, Frederick Miller, was a Harvard-educated accountant. Both of his parents had a passion for classical music, and he learned piano from a young age. In 1959, Young won a scholarship to attend Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts, where he studied classical guitar. However, he was expelled from the strict academy. After finishing high school, Young enrolled in Ohio State University, where he broadened his musical taste by living behind a record store. After a semester, Young returned to his parents' home in Pennsylvania, later transferring to New York University in 1961. Young balanced his studies with performances in Greenwich Village. However, he later decided to leave college and become a full-time musician. During this period, he decided on his stage name Jesse Colin Young as a blend of the names of outlaws Jesse James and Cole Younger, and Formula One design engineer and team owner Colin Chapman, as he felt like this was a more appropriate name for the music he performed. Young met producer Bobby Scott in the early 1960s, who assisted Young in getting studio time. Young's debut album, The Soul of a City Boy, was released in 1964, the result of a 4-hour recording session backed by an acoustic guitar. Young's cover of the George Remailie song For In the Morning received some radio airplay, and in 1965 Young released a second album produced by Scott, Young Blood. Young met guitarist Jerry Corbett, a folk singer from Cambridge, Massachusetts, and the pair decided to form a band as a duo called the Youngbloods, named after Young's sophomore album, touring Canada together. Eventually Corbett's friend Lowell Banana, Levinger, guitar and electric piano, and drummer Joe Bauer were added to the band, and the group became the house band for the Greenwich Village nightclub Café Au Go Go. During this period, Young switched from performing guitar to performing bass, as the band already had 2 guitar players. Signing to RCA Records, the band released their debut single Grizzly Bear in 1966 and their debut album The Youngbloods in 1967. The group's first album contained the song Get Together, written by Chet Powers, and was released as a single in 1967 to moderate success. However, after its use in a public service commercial for the National Council of Christians and Jews was released in 1969, it became an international hit for the band. Few of the band's early songs were written by Young. Only Tears Are Falling and Foolin' Around the Waltz from their debut album, and 4 on their Felix Pappalardi-produced follow-up album Earth Music, 1967, however. The B-sides of both issues of Get Together featured songs written by Young. During the production stages of the band's third album, the Charlie Daniels-produced Elephant Mountain, 1969, when the band relocated from New York to California, Corbett left the band, and Young became the group's main songwriter. The Young penned singles from the album, Sunlight and Darkness, both became hit singles. Sunlight was covered the next year by Three Dog Night on their album Naturally, 1970. The band formed their own imprint with Warner Brothers Records, Raccoon Records, on which they began releasing music in the 1970s. The Aiken County Coroner's Office confirmed that the Youngblood frontman's cause of death is complications of cardiac, atherosclerotic, and hypertensive cardiovascular disease, and the manner of death was natural. Young died on Sunday, March 16th. He was 83.